Good morning, students. Today our topic name is data link layer protocols. Before we are going to inside the topic, we should know what is mean by protocol. Protocol is nothing but a set of rules. Each and every computer devices or mobile phone or whatever it may be the devices have to follow when the rules have to follow before establishing communication between any other devices in the universe. We have to follow some set of rules. It's nothing but a protocols. In this topics we are going to discuss about data link layer protocols. Normally data link layer, it has some simple protocol, stop and wait protocol. Then HTLC is nothing but a high level data link control protocol. The next point to point protocol. Now we are going to discuss about data link layer protocols. Normally it has two protocols mainly in used: simple, stop and wait, go back and selective repeat. Although the first two protocols still are used, the data link layer, the last two have disappeared. What is meant by finite state machine? Actually, are you heard about the flowchart diagram or flow diagram in programming C or programming C++? And also you should know about, you are going to build a new home. You ask the engineer for the some blueprint. So what is the purpose of blueprint? Before you are going to start a construction work, you see the blueprint, the where is the kitchen, then where is the common hall, then where is the balcony, where is the car parking area. After you are confirming these things only, you ask the engineer to carry out the work. It's like a blueprint. The finite state machine is a understanding machine for the common user, and FSM is thought as a machine with a finite number of state. The machine is always is one of the state until an event occurs. The machine always in ready state or some dead state until we are going to pushing some event. You will see the diagram. For example, this is the example diagram of a finite state machine. The state 1 is in ready state. Before going to action 1 and action 2 in event 1, we are waiting in state 1. After getting some data or any other information, I am going to perform the event 1, whether it may be action 1 or action 2. After performing the event 1, I am going to the state 2. In state 2, the action 3 is possible, that is event 2. Then, so suppose the event 2 is occurs, remain the machine is continuing on the state 2. Suppose the event 3 is occur, the machine is going to state 1. The simple protocol. Our first protocol is simple protocol with neither flow nor error control. We assume that the receiver can immediately handle any frame it receives. You are sending any frame, receiver can immediately receive that frame. Is not waiting for, is not sending any acknowledgement to the sender. The sender is not waiting for acknowledgement from the receiver. Whatever it may be the frame, the receiver is going to handle the frame immediately. In other words, the receiver can never overwhelm. It's nothing but is never overflowed with incoming data, incoming frames. In FSM for the simple protocol, the FSM for the sending node, the FSM for the receiving node, the FSM for the sending node always in ready state is waiting for packet from the network layer. So after receiving the packet from the network layer, in data link layer is convert a packet into a frame and sent to the receiving node. The receiving node always in waiting for ready state. After getting the frame from the data link layer, it process the frame and deliver the packets to the network layer. We process the frame and decapsulate the frame to the packet and deliver to the network layer. It is a theory. Final state machine has only one state, the ready state. The sending machine remains in ready state until request come from process in the application layer. After receiving the application layer, it comes through the session layer, the presentation layer, then finally reach the network layer, then data link layer, then is going to physical layer, then is going to connect the receiver side physical layer. When this event occurs, the sending machine encapsulates the message in a packet and send to the receiving message. What is mean by encapsulation? So adding header, some of the trailer before the information, and also adding some flag bit for the information. It's nothing but an encapsulation. What is the decapsulation? Is done by the receiver side. It is opposite to the encapsulation. Here we are adding some information. In decapsulation, they are removing the header, the trailer, and is passing the message to the other station. The receiving machine remains in the ready state until packet arrive from the sending machine. When this event occurs, the receiving machine decapsulates the message out of the packet and deliver to the process at the application layer. The next protocol is stop and wait. The name itself saying is sending the frame or information to the receiver side and waiting for some positive acknowledgement. After receiving the positive acknowledgement from the receiver side, is sender able to send the next frame. Is called as a stop and wait. Is sending one frame and waiting for an acknowledgement. After getting the acknowledgement from the receiver side, is going to process the next frame. This is simple flow control will break down. Acknowledgement is gets lost or error occurs. Sender may wait for some acknowledgement that never arrives. Actually, we are sending the frames to the receiver side or waiting for an acknowledgement for the particular period of time. You consider I am waiting for 10 seconds for the acknowledgement from the receiver side. My 10 second is going to expire. Then what the sender will do? The sender again going to resend the same package to the receiver, then waiting for the acknowledgement. After getting the acknowledgement, I am going to send the next frame. Here timer is the timer role is very crucial in this stop and wait protocol. It is a final state machine diagram for the stop and wait protocol. The sending node, the receiving node diagram. The sending node is always in ready state until the packet came from the network layer. After receiving the packet, it convert a packet into a frame and save one copy and send the frame and start the time. Why we are saving the copy of the packet means, suppose my packet or information doesn't reach the receiver side, the receiver doesn't respond the acknowledgement for the packet, then my timer is going to expire. Then I have to send the same frame again. That purpose we are going to save a copy of the frame and start the timer. Then it's reached the blocking state. In blocking state, the three event is possible. One is timeout. The timeout event when is occur, I never receive some acknowledgement from the receiver. They are waiting for the particular time. Sender is waiting for the particular time, and then resend the same frame. Then restart the timer. The next event is corrected acknowledgement arrived. Suppose my frame is received in a receiver side, but I didn't receive any acknowledgement. Sorry, it's not. Suppose my frame is received, but acknowledgement is somewhat corrected. In sender side, simply discard the acknowledgement. It is in blocking state. The next third event is, suppose acknowledgement received is error free, then I stop the timer and discard the saved frame. Here I don't need the saved frame because I am receiving the positive acknowledgement for my sent frame. I am going to ready state. So in receiving node, thus is waiting for the ready state. So is waiting for a ready state. So extract and deliver the packet to the network layer and send the acknowledgement. And corrected frame is arrived. Simply discard the frame. In receiving node, if in ready state, only two events is possible. One is suppose the corrected frame from the sending node. Simply discard the frame. Suppose you are receiving the positive frame and is doing the extract and deliver the packet to the network layer and send some positive acknowledgement. The sender state, we already discussed about the states. Receiver. This is a simple flow diagram of stop and wait. For example, consider as a sender and receiver. I am sending the packet 0 and waiting for some acknowledgement for the packet 0. I getting the acknowledgement. Then I am sending the packet 1 to the receiver. But due to some corruption, my packet doesn't reach the receiver. Then waiting for an acknowledgement. Till now I did not get the acknowledgement. My timer is going to expire. After timer expire, I am going to resend the same packet 1 to the receiver. The receiver sent the acknowledgement. I received the acknowledgement 0. I am sending the packet 0 to the receiver. The receiver sent the acknowledgement number 1. My acknowledgement is disappear due to some traffic. The sender did not receive the acknowledgement. Then sender is consider itself. The packet 0 doesn't reach the receiver. The sender is again going to send the packet 0, but receiver doesn't receive the packet 0 because it's already processed the packet 0. Receiver simply discard the packet 0 and send the acknowledgement 1. It's reached the sender side. Then sender. Then what is the next process? Sender sending the packet 1 to the receiver. This is called as a stop and wait protocol. It is a piggybacking is one of the techniques. Protocol have been designed to allow data flow in both direction. I am sending the frame. Also I am attached with some acknowledgement. It saves some bandwidth. This purpose we are using some piggybacking technique. However, to make the communication more efficient, the data in one direction is piggybacked with the acknowledgement in other direction. In other words, when node A is sending the data to node B, node A also acknowledges the data received from node B. You see the diagram of piggybacking. I am sending frame 0, acknowledgement. The sender is A, receiver is B. I am sending frame 0, acknowledgement 0. That is mean I am sending the frame 0. It reaches acknowledgement 0 is nothing but I am expecting the frame acknowledgement 0. Then receiver sending the frame 0 acknowledgement 1. The sender received the acknowledgement 1 is nothing but the receiver expecting the frame number 1. Then is sending the frame 1 acknowledgement 1. Then the receiver send the frame 1 acknowledgement 0. Then next what is happened? After receiving the frame 1 acknowledgement 0 to the sender, the next I am sending the frame 0 acknowledgement 1 to the receiver. The method combine the data frame with acknowledgement. Station A and B both have data to send. Instead of sending separately, a station A sends a frame that includes an acknowledgement. Station B does the same thing. Piggybacking, the main purpose is save the bandwidth. The next protocol here we are going to discuss about HTLC is nothing but a high level data link control protocol. Is a bit oriented protocol. We already discussed what is meant by bit oriented and byte oriented. It is a bit oriented protocol for communication over point to point and multi-point links. Configuration and transfer modes of HTLC. Here only two different configurations available in STLC: normal response mode, asynchronous balance mode is nothing but a ARM and ABM. In normal response mode, the station configured is unbalanced. We have only one primary station and multiple secondary station. In normal response mode, we have only one primary station and multiple or more than one secondary station. The primary station only able to send a commands to the secondary station. The secondary station only able to respond to the primary station. This is a normal response mode. It is supported in point to point and also multi-point. In point to point, the only one primary and only one secondary. In multi-point, one primary and multiple secondary. The primary devices only capable for sending command only. The secondary devices only capable for sending the response for the command. In asynchronous balance mode, the configuration is balanced, the link is point to point, and each station can function as a primary and secondary. This is a common mode today. The primary, the combined mode, the both station can able to send a command and response in asynchronous balance mode. The next STLC defines three types of framing. The information frame is called as a I frame, supervisory frame is called as a S frame, unnumbered frame is called as a U frame. Each type of frame serves as a envelope for a transmission for different type of messages. Here we see the frame diagram. It is a flag. You know what is the purpose of flag? It's going to indicate a start and end of the frame. It's a I frame. Is considered of flag, and address is considered of the source address and destination address. Control information, some of the control information. Here we are mentioning some user data. What is meant by FCS? It is nothing but a frame check sequence is a STLC error detection field. It can either 2 or 4 byte. FCS is nothing but a frame check sequence. It is a purpose of error detection technique. The I frame are used to data link user data and control information relating to user data is called as a piggybacking. The S frame, which are used for error and flow control purposes, and the ends contain send and receive sequence number. The S frame, we are following some sequence number for sender and receiver. I am sending the frame number 0, I am sending the frame number 1. The receiver sending the acknowledgement number 0, receiver sending the acknowledgement number 1, and so on. The U frame are reserved for system management. Information carried by U frame is intended for managing the link itself. The next protocol is a point-to-point protocol. The STLC a bit-oriented protocol. The point-to-point protocol is a byte-oriented protocol. One of the most common protocol for the point-to-point access the point-to-point protocol. The point-to-point protocol uses only one type of the frame, but allows multiplexing different payloads. What is mean by payload? Payload is nothing but a information or data. Okay, payload is a technical term for information or data. To achieve a kind of connection oriented service authentication, you know what is the difference between connection oriented and connection less. Connection oriented is nothing but before I am sending the data to the receiver, I am going to establish a connection between the source and destination. After establishing the connection between source and destination, I can able to send the data, which is followed in the connection oriented approach. So encapsulating different packets in a frame allow point-to-point protocol to move to different states to provide necessary services. The services provided by the what are the services provided by the point-to-point protocol? It defines the format of the frame to be exchanged between devices. The point-to-point protocol, they define the format of the frame, how the frame is going to appear. It also defines how two devices can negotiate the establishment of the link and exchange of data. So point-to-point protocol, it is designed to accept payload from several network layers. Is not only is going to deal with internet protocol, it also is going to deal with user datagram protocol and segments. It designed to accept payload from different layers. Authentication is also provided in the protocol, but it is optional. The new version of point-to-point protocol is called multi-link point-to-point protocol. Provides connection over multiple links. One interesting features of point-to-point protocol is that it provides network address configuration. What are all the service is not supported by the point-to-point protocol? It does not provide the flow control. It only the CRC field is used to detect errors. If the frame is corrected, it is silently discard the frame. The framing in the point-to-point protocol uses the already we have discussed. It is based on the character-oriented approach. It's nothing but a byte-oriented. Shown the format of point-to-point protocol. It consists of the flag bit and starting and ending. What is the purpose of flag bit? Is going to indicate the where the frame is start, where the frame is going to end. The address field is consist of the source address and destination address. Control field is going to deal with some of the flow control. Is error control. The protocol, the payload is nothing but here information. Here frame check sequence is purpose of the error detection. What are all the transition phase? Here the FSM for the point-to-point protocol. Initially it is in dead state. Whenever it is find the carrier signal in the physical layer, is going to establish the connection. Suppose the carrier sense is not detected at the physical layer, the carrier detection is failed, then is going to the again is going to the dead state. Suppose if you sense the carrier signal in the physical layer, is going to establish the connection and also is provide the authentication. Suppose the authentication is failed means is going to the terminal state. The authentication is successful is going to the network configuration. After the network configuration, the state is going to the open state. In open state only we are performing data transfer. After the data transfer is going to finish, I am going to is going to the terminate state. So data transfer take place in open state. When a connection reaches the state, the exchange of data packets can be started. The connection remain in the state until one of the endpoints wants to terminate the connection. In the case system goes to terminate state. The physical layer signal is dropped. The carrier signal is dropped, which moves the system to dead state again. Thank you for listening the lecture.